light being, and thank you for watching and joining me today. Chances are, if you're watching this video, is because you suffer from some sort of OCD, some sort of form of OCD that is probably disrupting your way of life or way of thinking. And I'm glad that you're watching this video because I have some really cool stuff to share with you guys. And not even like, I watched some videos on OCD and I was really disappointed on the stuff that I found on YouTube, because what they're trying to say is that OCD is completely not curable and you're gonna have to live with it for the rest of your life. But I'm here to challenge that that way of thinking, because I believe that you can get over that type of neurological disorder, really, because OCD, whether it's compulsive or whether it's just thoughts, it is a form of, it's a neurological disorder basically, and it's almost like your neurons, they just rewire themselves to think really crappy thoughts and make you do compulsive things out of fear, okay? But I want you to know that there is a way out and there is a way of getting better and feeling better about this whole situation. I'm gonna go through certain points, and basically I want to talk about and explain what OCD is. I want to talk about your feelings. I want to talk about how we make it worse and how you can make it a little better. I want to talk about your fears. I want to talk about what's holding you back, manifesting. Many times when we're trying to manifest something in our lives, we tend to obsess about it. And when you obsess about it, most likely you're setting yourself up for failure, because part of manifestation is to letting things go, right? Letting the universe do its job. So you know what I'm talking about. And I've been there. I suffer, guys. I suffer from OCD, and actually I don't want to say that I suffer, because I don't suffer anymore. I used to suffer really bad, but I'll get to that in a moment. And then I want to give you guys a technique that I developed with myself. I think it was last year or the year before that I was suffering from some really debilitating fear, to the point that it was kind of becoming a self-fulfilling prophecy. And I just kind of realized how to get my shit together and started applying these things, and it started making me feel better. This is not a way of actually, how can I say it? This is not to completely heal OCD, especially when it's obsessive compulsive thoughts, but it is a way that it can make you feel better, that it can soothe you. And then I will let you know the two things that I have really learned that can really heal OCD, whether it is on manifestation or whether it is on, you know, compulsions and eating disorders, which are also based on OCD, okay? All right, let's get started. So I want to talk real quick about what's you know, OCD. Let's really talk about that, and I'm gonna do it very briefly, guys. First of all, I want you to know that obsessive compulsive disorder is really a form of post-traumatic stress disorder, okay? It's a form of PTSD. This is based on a traumatic experience that you've been through in life, all right? So the next thing that I really want to talk about is that, of course, some people act on their OCD, which we will call it a compulsion, and then some people will just think about it, all right? And the thing about it is that there's a lot of shame behind it, and I want you to know that it's okay. It's totally okay to feel the way you feel, all right? Because many times the reason why you're getting these ugly thoughts is because you're running from a certain feeling. You're running from a certain fear. And I want you to know that I really want you to face that fear, because that is a part of your consciousness that is asking for attention and is asking for resolution. The thing about it is that it is these thoughts and these compulsions tend to be so uncomfortable that we try to run away from them, and then we think that we're crazy. You're not crazy, okay? You're fucking amazing. all right? And you are just as normal as everybody else, because one thing I've realized is that I've been silencing my OCD for over 13 years, over 15 years, really, probably 16 years. Like, shit, I don't know, let me see. I think it kind of started when I was 15. I don't know, it started with my eating disorder. My eating disorder started around the age of 13, but then it really spiraled when I was 15. And this is something that I kind of started to put two and two together, because I was like, there was a trauma, all right? There is some sort of either tragedy in the family or something traumatic happened to you. So I want you to explore and think about what was that thing that was traumatic for you, that happened to you. When I started to look back at my own life, I suffered from bulimia for a very long time. For about 13 years, I suffered from bulimia. And bulimia is a form of OCD, because I was a prisoner in my head. I will not stop thinking about food. I used to think about food so much that it was my biggest secret in the world. I never told that to anybody, like until I was like, I don't know, in my late 20s or something like that I told my therapist in the last session, okay? So this is something that I had a lot of shame of, because this is what we're told. We're told that obsessions are terrible, that that it's really bad to have an obsession. And yet here I am obsessively thinking about something. So yeah, I am gonna feel like a weirdo. I am gonna feel like I'm sick, basically. And I used to suffer from anxiety, a lot of anxiety, and it was horrible, because the way that it would manifest itself was that even if I would smell something, like I would be working and I would smell something, like I would just get triggered in my head, and it was awful. All I could think about was food. I wanted to eat that. What am I gonna eat? And this was all the time. But if I hadn't eaten in a period of time and I was tranquil, I was working, and then all of a sudden I smelled something, it was not pretty. It was horrible. It was really bad. Or if I was hungry, oh my God, the world was gonna fall over, because it would just trigger my anxiety and my OCD. So first of all, I want you know that I want you to give yourself kindness, okay? Everything is okay. You are okay, and you have to let yourself feel your feelings. I understand you feel like crap when you're feeling these feelings, and tell yourself it's okay. I know that these words are so little, but they make a huge difference when you start to tell that to yourself. Because many times we become angry at ourselves, we become ashamed, we start to beat ourselves up. That's not self-love, guys. That's never gonna get you healed into this mentality and into a better life, better well-being. So might as well start telling yourself that it is okay. Start giving yourself that kindness that your mind and your body are asking for. Your soul is asking for a certain part to be integrated. So start with kindness. Tell yourself, you know what? Yes, you're feeling this. It's gonna be all right. You're gonna get through this. And some people can even talk to that part of their consciousness. Talk to that part of yourself that is actually feeling lost and feeling, obsessive and compulsive. Talk to that part of yourself. Actually, that I need to make a note. And okay, so that brings me to my next point. As you're talking to that part of yourself, explore your fear. Allow yourself to feel the fear. Because as you know, obsessive compulsive disorder is based on control, wanting to control your environment. Why do you need to control your environment? What is it that you're trying to prevent from happening? A lot of times, this is based on a certain death. You're maybe trying for somebody not to die, or maybe you don't want to die. Maybe, I notice that there's a certain pattern with death involved in it. So explore that fear. It may not only be death, of course. It could be anything else that is very traumatic to you. But explore that. And that means that there's a part of you that is really uncomfortable with the idea. So that should also give you an idea that maybe you need to start to get comfortable with what makes you uncomfortable instead of running away. And so I really want to give you guys that perspective. And the one thing that I have noticed that has helped my clients the most and myself, and just OCD in general, whether you are obsessive thinking about things that you're trying to control, or you're obsessively thinking about things that you're trying to manifest, okay? The one thing that I really noticed that has helped my clients is hypnosis, guys. And with hypnosis, is basically, at least my kind of hypnosis, which is very holistic, is very non-invasive. I create a safe space for you so you can face your fear in a different angle, and you can find resolution with the trauma that caused that fear. And when you start to find resolution with those points in time, your life really starts to change, and your way of thinking really starts to change. It's like you're breaking these patterns, and you're like rewiring your brain. And sometimes my clients that I have given hypnosis therapy to, hypnotherapy, they even said that their head hurts, you know, when they wake up. They're like, or when they open their eyes, because they're really awake, when they open their eyes, they kind of come back to reality. Here they're like, oh my god, I'm so tired, like my head is a little stressed. And that is because we are rewiring the brain to accept what has already happened, because all this fear and all this anxiety really comes from the past, because it's a form of post-traumatic stress. So that's like the one thing that I really have noticed that has really helped. And you can do this little by little. I know hypnosis is like, there's a lot of misconceptions on hypnosis, and I've actually made a hypnosis series. I will actually put it on the link below. And it's really, I mean, there's so much stigma, but it's so easy and it feels amazing. And it sucks that all that stuff, I'm sorry guys, but all that stuff, if you look at the history, it all started from the Catholic Church trying to ban everything, and they wanted only people to go to their church, and this was done hundreds and hundreds of years ago. So, you know, question your belief system, guys. Okay, getting back. If you have obsessive thinking when it comes to manifesting, the obsessive thinking that you're trying to manifest, it's the obsession comes from actually the fact that you don't have it. So you're really setting yourself up for failure when you're obsessively thinking about this manifestation of yours. Okay? So please, I know many times you don't feel like that's what it is, but that's what it really is. All right? You're really obsessing about the fact that you don't have it. That's why you can't let it go. And so you have to understand that that's based on not believing in yourself and not believing that you are worthy enough to receive it. So then that's when you have to explore your feelings of low self-esteem or low self-worth. And I know that there is somebody out there that is thinking, oh, but I don't feel that way about myself. In certain things, you will feel that way about yourself because you are obsessively thinking about this thing that you don't have that you really want. All right? So please explore those things, okay? Another thing that I want to talk about is, okay, I want to give you guys this technique that I have developed on myself, and it has really helped. I don't suffer from bulimia anymore. I don't have that kind of OCD. But guess what? Just because I don't have that kind of OCD doesn't mean I don't have OCD in general. I still have OCD, but I have realized that there are moments, I go through periods where I don't have it at all, and I know why, which I'm gonna get to in a second. But first I'm gonna talk about the latest OCD fear that I have, which is I have a 5-pound Chihuahua, and I keep thinking that I am going to kill this little guy. Okay, he's trained, he's amazing, he's beautiful, he's super fragile, and he doesn't walk on a leash. He walks without a leash because he's terrified of the leash. So this was new to me, okay, because he's new in my household for like full time, and I have a big ass dog. Guess what? My dog, I do whatever I want with her. She can get a little crazy sometimes. That's cool, but I don't need to be gentle with her. She's crazy. She's fun. She's big. You know, she's over 50 pounds. The thing is that this dog, like, it started bringing out this fear in me that I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna kill him. I know I'm not gonna kill him. I'm not worried about that. But guess what? The thoughts are disturbing, and I'm sorry, I don't want to have these thoughts. And I used to suffer from that so much. Like maybe last year, I was going through a lot of stress. So that's another thing. Your OCD is gonna manifest with stress a lot. Okay. So it was to the point that it was almost becoming a self-fulfilling prophecy. And so I started to, instead of running away from the feeling, because I would get the obsessive thought as I would walk my dog, even at home, I would get the obsessive thought, and I would be like, ugh, ugh. And then it's like, just keep walking, Iris, just keep walking. It's not that, that I'm a careless person, but because he's so fragile, it brought out this fear in me that I wasn't gonna be able to handle it or something like that. Anyway, the point is that I started to face myself for that feeling. First of all, I started to be kind to myself, because again, that is number one key. Be kind to yourself. The angrier you get at yourself, the more mad that you get at yourself, you're not going anywhere. Because that is a part of you that is asking for integration. So you have to be kind to yourself. That is the number one thing that you have to do. Number one, be kind to yourself. Love yourself. That is being kind to yourself. And that is part of accepting who you are. You are perfect just the way you are. And so many of us have this. I didn't say anything for so many years, and I wish I would have, because that would have made me feel so much better. But because there's so much stigma behind obsessions and things like that, there was so much shame that I was like, oh God, I can't say that to people. I'm gonna look like a nut. And guess what? A lot of people go through this. So please be kind to yourself. And so I started to face my fear in my mind. I was like, okay, this is gonna happen. Okay, what if it does happen? Let's do it. And I faced it with courage, right? It's almost like I did my own hypnotherapy. Like I just faced it in a way that is like, all right, that's it, but it's not real. And I started to apply this technique that really, really, really helped. It's not going to heal you, but it's going to soothe you. All right. So that's like step number 2, you can say. So I started to apply this golden light technique that I came up with, because I was like, my God, I can't just keep thinking about my dog dying in 500 different ways when I walk him. Like, it was so disturbing. So I started to imagine my dog being hit by a car or something like that. But as soon as he got hit by the car, I would put a golden light to him and to the car, and then with my mind I would reverse what happened. And guess what happened? I felt better. I saw my dog healthy, vibrant. In my own consciousness, I saw my dog healthy, vibrant, and I put everything back into place. And I kept telling myself, see, he's doing just fine. And I would just send him a lot of love, and I would just keep walking. Something about putting that golden light really soothed my heart and soothed my soul. Again, I'm not saying that this is going to 100% heal it, but there's something soothing about applying this technique that I continue to do it. Another thing that I want to talk about, which is a really big deal, and people take it for granted all the time, is humor. Okay? Yes, humor, okay? These things are so, how can I say it? They're so uncomfortable that it's almost like we cannot apply any humor to it. But I want you to apply humor to it. I want you to make fun of yourself. I want you to make fun of the situation. I want you to just laugh at yourself. Find a way to find humor in that, because humor heals, okay? How does humor heal? Because humor raises your vibration. And that takes me to my next point. The real key into healing your OCD, and this is why I don't agree with modern psychology, which there's a lot of things that I don't agree there. The real key is raising your vibration. The happier you are, the least you'll have these issues. the happier you feel, the more complete you feel, the more you face your fears, the more you feel your feelings and stop running away with them with drugs, alcohol, distractions, going out, booty calls, whatever. The more you feel your feelings, the faster the negative ones can leave your body, and the faster you can raise your vibration. Okay, so that is really the key to healing your OCD, and that is what I have noticed that has healed my OCD. And when I realized this, I was like, oh, eureka, because everybody says that you can't heal OCD, and that is bullshit. Okay, you can. The key is raise your vibration. All right, how can you raise your vibration? By healing your trauma. A lot of times the trauma, it happens, again, there's a family tragedy, something that happened to you. And actually that also has a lot to do with not being grounded, not feeling safe. So that means that you gotta heal your root chakra, all right? So explore healing your root chakra, which is, a lot of it is based on your childhood. And so please, 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 please do this. Understand that that is the key to healing your OCD, whether you're trying to manifest something, or whether you're trying to let go of a certain fear that just keeps repeating back over and over and over again. All right, and then you have to like make sure that everything's okay and things like that. I still suffer a little bit from OCD here and there, you know, like, I mean, it's really mild right now because my vibration is high. So it's like, it's not even that disturbing. Like sometimes I get like a thought here and there, but I'm able to brush it, and I'm actually able to say like, yeah, that's just a random thought. And instead of like freaking out and feeling so disturbed, right? And so understand that that is really important. Understand that hypnosis is going back to those moments in a safe space in consciousness and being able to find resolution, and all of a sudden your mind, your body doesn't need to keep reacting to the same fear because you have found resolution. You have integrated that part of your consciousness that was broken off from you, okay? Because our consciousness can get divided into many different ways. When I work with clients, I'm able to take them to not only their child self, but I'm able to take them to their future self, and it's pretty fucking amazing. So your consciousness is completely limitless, and it needs healing at the same time, all right? So I really, really hope that this helped you guys. This helped you so much. Honestly, like, this is some really big information from me, and I really wish you the best. This is possible, all right? Raise your vibration, do the work, and you will feel an amazing relief. When I finally felt like I broke off it happened in phases, but there was when I finally felt like I broke off from my obsessive thinking on food and controlling my environment around me. Wow, I felt like I was free from a prison, and I didn't even realize that I was in that prison because I was so used to it. And I don't want you to feel used to it. You shouldn't be in a prison. You shouldn't be thinking all the time obsessively. There is absolutely nothing wrong with you, but at the same time, just put a little bit of effort and a little kindness into yourself, and you can get through this, all right? I love you, and I hope you guys leave me a comment. Anything you need, let me know, and you know where to find me. You're more than welcome to check my socials. Mwah! Love you guys. Bye.